Hi everyone out there on YouTube. Ooh, sorry, my stomach's hurting a little, but I'm gonna still do this review video of Moonknight episode 4. So this is episode 4 review, and this show is very good. It is like very good, and it's still one of my favorite Marvel limited series on Disney Plus out of all the other ones, and I've seen every single one except the one with, I still don't remember that guy's name, that shoots the bows and arrows, that was a part of the Avengers. But I didn't see that series, but I seen every other limited series from Marvel that came out last year and this year on Disney Plus. And I think Moonknight is the only one that came out so far on Disney Plus this year for Marvel. So yeah, this is episode 4. So episode 4, woo! Episode 4 was like, so in the beginning of episode 4, I did a recap of what happened and everything. So come to find out, we find out there's a third altar. With the shocker. I guessed it when I was watching the show. I was thinking in my head, what if there was a third altar that was doing all this? What if Steven, so my opinions on the show, and I'm going to say this in the beginning, before I say do the whole review of the 4th episode. I think Steven is actually the one that's actually the head of the body. I think Steven was the one. I think Steven was, when he was born, his name was Steven. I'm going to be honest. I think Steven was Steven Grant. I think Steven was born Steven Grant. But something might have happened to him as a kid. Maybe he don't remember, or he might have pushed it down. Child trauma, that where he developed these different altars. Because that's what happens when you have different altars. Stuff likely from your childhood can cause like really tragic things that happen in your life. When something happens to you, or something that like a death, someone's death, or something physically happening to you can cause this. So I feel like something could have happened to Steven and he don't know, because I haven't read the comics, because I don't read comics. I'm not a big fan of comic books, but I'm not trying to hate on anybody that loves comics, but it's just, I don't read comics. But my opinions. But let me know in the comments if you have read the comic. Let me know if this is true or not, what I'm saying or not. You can correct me in the comments. Just don't be rude. But something must have happened to Steven when he was a kid. Maybe he pushed it down. Or maybe he's seen a therapist, a child psychiatrist, and he don't remember this happening. So that might be the reason why these altars are appearing. Because I feel like Steven Grant is the head of the body, not Mark. Mark is one of the altars. And he has another altar. But I forgot the author's name because I was looking up some information about him online. And some people on YouTube said the second author's name is called Joe, I think. The third is called Joe something. I think it's Joe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but please do not be rude if you want to correct me in the comments. I mean, correct me nicely means like, you want to leave some fun facts about Steven in the comment section or anything about his other altars in the comments. Be nice about it. Please don't be rude, and because I know some people on YouTube love to do that, come at people for no reason for saying certain things, or they love to be right. But you can just let me know in the comments anything that I missed about Steven, because I have seen the video even way before I started watching this show. There was a lovely video, I forgot the name of that guy's YouTube channel. I wish I can give you guys the YouTube channel. This guy made a great video about Moonknight and about his different altars. But yeah, so let's get into this review. So it gives a whole recap of what happened and everything, and it starts off from those guys. After those guys died and everything, Mark is still confused on what's going on. So like, Steven's the head of the body, basically. So they traveling out to stop Arthur from bringing, you know who, back, because I forgot the person's name, Amit back. So they're driving in the car and everything. Steven and Layla. And Layla talking about how she needs Mark now. But Steven's talking about, oh, how Mark made a deal with him about how he's gonna leave once they sell everything with, hold on, with Prometheus. Hold on, I got another phone here. Well, I'm looking up the cast of the show, like the names of the characters, so I can remember. So Conchu, my bad, wrong character. Conchu. Why am I thinking Prometheus? I'm thinking of that movie called Prometheus. Okay, so Conchu. And then Mark is like, oh, but it didn't involve us, me and Layla getting into danger. So they heading out, and then they get to the little place where they need to go, like the pyramid place. Not the pyramids. They get to another place. I don't know what the pyramids, but where they need to go, and then they get out the car, and then they walking around trying to get to the entrance of where they need to go. And that's when they see a goat, and then they keep walking till they find some entrance. Until they first they climb up. They tie some ropes to them and climb up, and then they walk around until they get to the entrance. And that's when Steven starts talking to Layla, and Layla's like, they all flirting with each other, and then they kiss each other, and then Layla climbs down into the hole of the entrance, and then right when Steven's about to climb down, he gets punched in the face by Mark. I was like, oh, that's karma for kissing Layla. Like, I know Mark saw that. I'm like, that's karma. Shouldn't have kissed her. Sorry. I'm gonna let you shouldn't have kissed her. And so they're going down. So they're traveling through, and that's when they see blood. And then I was like, ooh, no, I would have left. I saw the blood. They seen blood trails and everything. They keep walking, and then they end up getting split up. So Layla kept going, and she kept going. Steven decided to be inside, see all these ruins, to see all these cool artifacts on the walls and all that. And Layla kept going when this creature was trying to attack her. Because as she was walking across, the floor was literally breaking and falling, and she was trying to walk as fast as she can. This creature was trying to come after her, and she almost failed. Luckily, the creature fell to the bottom of I don't know where, inside the little pyramid. And then she got back up, and that's when Arthur appeared, and Arthur started talking to her. And then Steven's in another room, and then he finds Arthur the Great or something, Arthur the Great's tomb, and he had to open it. And I was like, ooh, I would have just left that alone. Me, I'm not opening nothing. I'm not touching nothing. I don't know nothing. I didn't see anything. I'm not touching anything. I didn't see it. I don't know. But he had to open it. So like Arthur appears, starts talking to Layla, talking about, oh, ask Marcus what happened. Like ask Mark ask Mark what happened to your dad. And she's telling Arthur, oh, you lying. No, I'm not lying, and blah blah blah. And he goes on and he's telling her to wake up. So she goes back to find Steven, and she goes back to Steven, and Steven's digging inside of I think it's Arthur the Great. Hold on. Let me see. Is it Arthur the Great? I don't know why this thing keeps locking. me see, Arthur the Great. Yeah, King Arthur. Yeah, King Arthur the Great. Yeah, Arthur the Great. So they go back. He digging through there. He finds his little god rock, the little god rock stone, not stone rock in him. He takes it out. He's like, ooh, he's amazed. And then Layla appears, and she's going, I didn't speak to Mark. She was mad. She was pissed. Mark appears, comes forward to the head of the body, and then shoots him. You need to tell me what happened to my dad. And then Mark explains, and you're going like, oh, so that's how we met. Oh, because Mark was going like, oh, I came to you the first time we met was because I was supposed to tell you about how your dad died, but I forgot to tell you. And she's gonna, oh, so that's how we met. So they ended up falling in love because of her dad's death. So he met her to tell her, to give her the bad news about her dad's death. And then they ended up falling in love. They ended up becoming friends and falling in love. Oh, I couldn't do it. But he said he was supposed to die that day. And she looked pissed like, why didn't you? And then and then Mark was like telling her to come on because Mark was like, we could talk about this later. And then later like pissed. And then Arthur and his goons, I'm gonna say goons because they had guns, appeared. And then Mark fighted some of them off. He grabbed the guns out of some of them, out of like two or three of the guy's hands, and then he gets shot by Arthur. Arthur grabs a gun from a guy, I think, or he grabs a gun off the floor and shoots Mark, and then shoots him again. And Layla like had her mouth covered, shocked, looked like she wanted to scream. And then Mark falls in the water. The water looked dirty. It looked muddy a little, like sandy. Like there was sand in that water. And then some white light appears, like a White House. Not like a White House, not like the White House, like with the ones you see at the beach with the lighthouse. And then this boy appears and a guy appears, and then look like they on some journey, like they on a venture in the jungle or something. And then the boy says Stephen Grant, and then it zooms out and looks like it's on the TV. And then it shows a man calling out bingo numbers. And I'm like, what is this? And then it shows Stephen's old boss, ex-boss, because she fired him, taking medication that some man was giving to her. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, is this a psych? I'm like, is this a psych ward? And then it shows the man walking by another patient drawing contours on a paper. And then you can see, then they pan the camera into Mark. And Mark is sitting in a wheelchair and his hands are tied to the chair. Not his hands tied to the chair. Mark is sitting on a chair, a white wheelchair facing the wall. And then he's like looking at the wall confused, like, Stephen? He kept calling out Stephen, but Stephen didn't answer back. So he tried to walk towards the wall, like the wall, his reflection on the wall, and he falls. And you realize that it's one of his right foot was tied to the wheelchair. Why would your right foot be tied to the wheelchair? It's weird. And then Layla appears. And she helps him back into the wheelchair. And she's going like, are you alright? And she's eating one of those Turkish dishes again. Look like marshmallows. Looked good. And then she was like, she got the bingo card from Mark. And like, oh, we won. And then she says it to the guy over there that's calling out the bingo numbers, one of the patients in the psych ward. Oh, I won. And then she whispered to Mark that I will share the prize with you this time. And then she walks over to the guy, happy and cheerful. And then Mark's looking confused, like, And then he's like, Steven, Steven. And then the whole thing breaks out. And they end up taking him to see a guy, like a psychiatrist. So they take him into the room of a psychiatrist. The psychiatrist talking to him and everything. And he's looking confused, like, what am I doing here? Where am I? And then Mark looks down and he can see right behind the psychiatrist's desk, next to the psychiatrist's desk, right behind it. The psychiatrist was Arthur that was talking to him. Right behind the psychiatrist's desk was some door. Or some little door or something. Or something. Some door or something. And he looked down and he could see Arthur's shoes. You know those little shoes that look, his little sandals with the glass in it. The brown sandals with the glass. Closed-in sandals with the glass. He could see it. Because he was like, he looked down behind Arthur's desk and he can see somebody with he could see, looked like somebody's legs was crossed behind some door. Like there was a door behind psychiatrist's desk right next to right next to Arthur's desk. Arthur was playing as a psychiatrist. Right next to his desk there was somebody sitting there facing another way. And he could see someone's shoes and he's like, this is fake. So he bursts out yelling, Steven! Where's Steven? Steven, two guys come in, grabbing him to put him back in the wheelchair, and then he ends up pushing them off and he runs out of the room. And then Arthur asking those guys, are you okay? And then he runs down the hall, and the hall just tilting back and forth. You can see the lights swinging left, right, and then he runs into this room and you can see Arthur the Great's tomb, and you can hear someone yelling, like, let me out, let me out. And you can tell with Steven's voice. So Mike opens he pushes, because the tomb top off, because you know the tomb top is heavy, and then it was Steven. And Steven looked like he was wearing the same clothes as Mark, but it was in all blue. And Mark was wearing all white like everybody else that was patients at the psych ward wearing, but Steven was wearing the same clothes but except in blue. The same clothes all the patients were wearing, but in darker blue. And he's like, Mark like Steven. They hug each other and they run out the room, and then you can see in another room, the door opens. In another room, you can see another tomb, and you can see the tomb shaking like somebody's in it. But I guess it shows that maybe that was, a lot of people online say that could be Steven's that could be the third altar of the body, but we don't know. And then they run down the hall towards this door that looked like an exit, or leads into another hallway, the psych ward. They open it, and then a hippo appears, dressed like a hippopotamus appears. That looks like one of those hippopotamus appears dressed like King Arthur the Great. And I was like, what the? And then they screamed. And then the hippopotamus screamed. And I was like, what the heck? I was so confused. I remember I went online and watched other people react to the show. People were doing their own reactions on YouTube, watching the full episode, and people were confused too. I was like, this is from the, and everybody's talking about, some people that read the comments said this is from the comic. So they said some people were saying that the show is going straight from the comic. And I was like, ooh, that sounds great, because I'm liking it. I was going straight from the comics. Because not all the Marvel limited series superhero shows or villain shows that we've been watching recently are sticking to the comics, but this one is. So I wonder how the last two episodes are gonna pan out. I know we're not gonna see the whole full series, because there'll be more episodes. But I hope this show gets renewed for a second season. I hope it don't just become a limited series. Because you have to, limited series don't mean it's gonna be a limited series. It can actually turn into a full series, and we could get a second season. Because understand this, there's a lot of shows that were limited series, but they end up getting turned into an actual TV show in the second season because people love this so much they bring the show back for a second season. Limited series means it has less than 10 episodes. Like, it's not even gonna have 10 episodes. It's only gonna be 6 to 7 episodes. But if the show do so well, it can come back for a second season. So I hope the show does come back because I'm loving this. Is my favorite Marvel limited series. I want this show to become a full-time series. I want a second season. I want a third season. Because I know this is not the whole Moonknight comics. I need to see the rest of the comics pan out. Because if it's going by the comics, I got to see the rest of this in a second season. Because I don't want them to pack too much in the last 2 episodes. And I want to see a second season of Moonknight on Marvel and Disney Plus. Just saying. So yeah, I got to get this episode. There wasn't really a lot of action in it. There was some action. I got to give it a 9 out of 10. Because I need more action. Like the first and the second episode. So yeah, I'm giving this episode a 9 out of 10. I'm loving this show. This is one of my favorite, I'm going to keep saying it, favorite Marvel limited series that I want it to be turned into a full series. I want 10 episodes. Or I want 6 more episodes in the second season. Or give me 8 or 9 episodes in the next season. I want another season. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching this review. That was the whole review, me explaining the whole episode. And yeah, it was great. This episode was good. I give it a 9 out of 10 because there wasn't a lot of fighting. There was more fighting, it would have got a 10. Let me know who's your favorite character now in the series as the show's almost over. Only 2 episodes left. And yeah, don't forget to click that like button and comment down below your favorite part of this episode, favorite character. And remember, you can always comment down below any videos you want me to react on YouTube, comedy videos, any TV shows you want me to check out, any new TV shows. As long as it's not on HBO or Hulu, because I don't have Hulu or HBO. I have Disney Plus and I have Netflix. Sorry, I don't have Hulu or HBO Max. I don't have HBO Max anymore. But I have Hulu and Disney Plus. So if you have any shows on there you want me to check out, or any shows on anybody's stuff, any short shows you want me to check out on YouTube by any YouTubers, let me know. Any movies you want me to do a review to or check out, let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to click your notification bell, because YouTube does not notify nobody on here anymore. In the beginning they did, now they don't. So click your notification bell so you know when my videos are uploaded to YouTube. And remember to have a wonderful day, and I love each and every one of you out there on YouTube. Bye.